What's up, guys? Fran Mango. Ocean spray. Fran Mango is the bomb.com. Looking for some good juice. Also go on my playlist. Go on my playlist. I have tons of juices with some Fran Mango. Mix it with anything. Drink it on ice, and it's really good. That's the sponsor for today. What's up, guys? What's up? I told you guys I was coming back. It's going to be a heavy upload day. I might be on here all night because it is just too much to talk about. I showed did this cran mango, guys. This is really good. Ocean spray cran mango is good. You can mix it with all your favorite drinks. Put it on some ice. It's nice and refreshing. It is uber hot this summer, and I like it. If you're looking for some fresh natural juices, go in my playlist. Go under drinks. I just made a drink with orange juice, guava, and some sorrel. Ginger sorrel is really good. It was a recipe I got from a good island friend of mine, Miss Marcia Evans. So, what's the topic gonna be today, guys? What is the topic gonna be? Pick one. Pick one. What we gonna talk? Diddy, R. Kelly, Medea. Who we gonna talk? I say Terror Squad. I say Fat Joe. Fat Joe and the Terror Squad. Let's go. Let's do this. Oh boy. He was born in 1970. I was born in 71. He's 54 years old. He's from the South Bronx. I'm from the North Bronx, New York, New York. Terror Squad, his record label, Terror Squad Entertainment, Empire, Universal Music Group, Atlanta Records. hmm His spouse, children. He has one, two, three kids. Married. Let's see what it's gonna say. Let me share some pictures while I'm doing this. I just wanted to give you guys a little background history, which you may already know, which you might not know, but it's always kind of fun. Joseph Antonio Cartagena, born August 1997, better known as his stage name Fat Joe, is an American rapper. He began recording as a member of hip hop group Digging in the Crates Crew, DITC, in 1992, and pursued a solo career with the release of his debut studio album, Represent, 1993. The following year, I'm just going to say Fat Joe, formed as the hip hop group Terror Squad, his namesake record label in 1990s, to which he signed a New York artist, Big Pun. Rest in peace to Big Pun. Remy Ma, Tony Sunshine, Cuban Link, Triple C's, as well as then known unknown producers DJ Khaled and Cool J. I didn't know he signed DJ Khaled or produced with him. Okay, so that's why you see them guys here with DJ Khaled got the Walk of Hall of Fame star. You see Fat Joe there with him. Okay, let's see. hmm Okay. He's also known for Fat Joe the Gangster, Joey Crack. Joey Crack. Okay. He's a rapper, songwriter, actor, record producer, record executive. His labels, he was on Empire, Mr. 305, Warner Brothers, Imperial, Terror Squad, Virgin Atlantic, Big Beat, Violator. I'm reading off of this from Wikipedia. His first album was Flow Joe. It hit the Billboard Hot 100. It peaked Hot Rap Songs. He also did What's Love with Ja Rule and Ashanti. It was also on Billboard's Hot 100. In 2004, he did Lean Back, Make It Rain with Little Rain, All the Way Up with Remy Ma. featuring French Montana. He was born in the Bronx. His parents were Puerto Rican and Cuban. He lived in forest houses. It was a public housing projects in Morrisina, a neighborhood. Forest houses. You see that? Forest houses. South Bronx. That's probably rough. Forest houses in the South Bronx. So he grew up in housing projects in the South Bronx. He was a bully as a child. He had an older brother named Angel who introduced him to hip hop music. He was kicked out of his family's apartment following a fight he and his father when he began hustling. So he was selling rugs, and his father kicked him out the house. This is typical with like Jay-Z and a lot of the other 50 Cent. A lot of them, they're in the projects in New York. They don't have money, so they start hustling very young to make money. He started performing as Fat Joe at the Apollo Theater in 1991, and he was represented by Chris Lighty. Rest in peace to Chris Lighty, a violator, and signed to Relatively Records in the 1990s. The album, and he also had another album that featured a guest appearance from KRS-One and a production from Diamond D. He said one day while writing the album, Chung King Studios, Fat Joe happened to find his rap idol and friend LL Cool J was in another room. They made a duo called the Trackmasters. They were working on a remix version of LL Singer "I Shot Ya." After being welcomed to contribute verses, Fat Joe appeared on remix with Foxy Brown, Keith Murray, Prodigy, and Mobb Deep. He discovered a Latino rapper in New York that called Big Pun. Later featured on the song "Watch Out." In 1997, Fat Joe attempted to sign with Sean Diddy Combs' imprint Bad Boy Records, but later signed, well, that probably was a blessing. He didn't go to Bad Boy. He was about to sign with Bad Boy, and he did not. So that was probably good. And he wound up over with Atlantic Records. And they offered him his own Terror Squad Entertainment. Combs blessed Fat Joe to join Atlantic after he denied him permission to launch Terror Squad under Bad Boy. You see the control? You see the control? No one really grew under Diddy because he said he signed him, but he couldn't have his own label. So he went to Atlantic. Smart move. Eminem sent Fat Joe a demo for him to join Terror Squad imprint of Atlantic, but currently rejected it. Wow. Eminem. Wow, this is crazy, guys. Eminem said Fat Joe had his own label at Atlantic, and Eminem sent him his demo 6 times, and he told him no, 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 no. You know, it takes 7 no's to get to a yes. Had he sent them his demo the 7th time, he said he got 6 no's. Can you imagine Eminem, who's supposedly like the GOAT? He said, first time he sat the demo, no. Threw it in the trash. Second, trash. Third, trash. Fourth, trash. Five. That's a lie. He was persistent. By the 7th time, I bet you would have signed him. But we all know the rest is history. 50 Cent snatched him up and took him over to Death Row Records, right? I know Fat Joe is kicking himself in his head. Wow. Idiot. No disrespect, guys. I don't mean that personally. It just rolled off the tongue. But wow, wouldn't you be mad? You turned down Eminem 6 times. How much is that dude worth right now? Hold on. I'm nosy. Hold on. How much is Eminem worth? Listen, everyone says he's not worth what he's worth because of his talent. They're just saying that it's because of his race. 250 million. Joey Crack could have got that money, that 250 million off of Eminem. I mean, that's what he's worth. That's not what he would have made. That was same like Love and Hip Hop with Cardi B. I forgot his name. The manager he had that kept trying to smash. She was like, "Leave me alone, sign me," and he went and signed her. So she left with someone else. I know he was kicking himself. He had Cardi B like that. He lost her. Wow, I didn't know that. So I learned something new. He executive produced Big Pun's 1998 Capital Punishment. He started recording his third album. He, from topping later, trapped in this education, Lauren Hill. What did he do with Lauren Hill? Hold on. First, her a joint venture. He had a joint venture with Mystic Entertainment Group through Atlantic. Hip hop album trust. It was prevented from topping the later chart. Oh, he didn't pass Miss Education, Lauren Hill. He went gold. He sold 500,000 copies. Guys, if you don't know, back in the day, if you had went gold or platinum, that was huge. They don't count. They stream everything now, so they don't count record sales. His album guest appearance was Nas, Puffy, Big Pun, Raekwon, Jadakiss, Bone, Thugs and Harmony, Crazy Bones, Lazy Bone. Just going on and on about his music career. We know Big Pun died. After Big Pun's death, Fat Joe went to clinical depression. He was seeking therapy help from his wife. At this time, he produced his fourth album in 2001. And he released a single, We Thuggin', featuring R. Kelly. It was a hit. And Irv Gotti, rest in Irv Gotti, just passed away this year. He produced the song. And then he did What's Love, featuring Ja Rule and Ashanti. Hit the Billboard 100. So he's got a pretty nice portfolio. He did some stuff MTV's Annual Spring Break in 2002. Guys, it's pretty long. His resume is pretty long. It's extensive. He dissed 50 Cent on a track. I'll be here all day if I'm reading his resume, but it's pretty long. So I wonder if he won a Grammy. Uh, let's see, how many Grammys did Fat Joe win? I know you guys want to get to the meat and potatoes, but I want to just do. Fat Joe has not won any Grammy Awards despite being nominated 5 times. His nominees include Best Rap Performance by a Dual Group, Lean Back, and Terrance Remy Mom 2005, and Make It Rain with Little Rain 2008. He was also nominated for Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song All the Way Up. Wow, he never won? He should have won. He's got a long resume. But you know the Grammys, you know how they are. They're biased. They pick and choose who they want. So he has a long-standing career. He is well respected. From the Bronx, started off selling drugs, married, 3 kids, and currently went through clinical depression after Big Pun died. Has several hit #1 records. Oh, here he goes here. The Shabazz Center commemorates Malcolm X's 100th birthday. He's here with the Central Park 5. Very nice. The exonerated Central Park 5. What's all right? So let's get into this. So in 2014, was there some issues Fat Joe had with Big Pun's wife, Liza Roas? There was a lawsuit, a civil cover sheet, in September 18, 2004. The plaintiff is Liza Rios, a personal representative of the state of Christopher Rios, aka Big Pun. Why would Big Pun's estate sue Fat Joe? Is that over money? Is it over money? Hold on one second. And this is 2014. And guys, I be digging in the crates, right? So Big Pun died in 2000. 14 years later, his estate is suing Fat Joe and his label at the time. Big Pun's estate, represented by his widow, Liza Rio, sued Fat Joe for breach of contract and claimed he owed them money from Big Pun's earnings after his death. Especially Rios alleged that she had to deal with Fat Joe to split profits from Big Pun's work after his passing, but that she hadn't received any payments since 2005. So the first 5 years she received payments. I guess he died in 2000. So in 2005, she got more money. So in 2014, which would be 9 years later, she comes and sues Fat Joe and say, "Hey, we didn't get any more money, and my husband was working with you, yada yada yada." So the lawsuit sought over $1 million. The case was ultimately settled out of court. Liza Rios, Big Pun's widow, claimed that she and Fat Joe had an agreement to split the royalties and other earnings from Big Pun's work after his death. The breach. Rios alleged that she had not received payments from Fat Joe since 2005, despite the alleged agreement. The lawsuit in 2014, Rios filed a lawsuit against Fat Joe seeking over $1 million. The settlement. The case was eventually settled out of court. While the exact terms of the settlement were not disclosed, it essentially resolved a legal dispute between two parties. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? That's not a good look. But we don't know. We don't know the details. Who matters? A handshake agreement? How much was big? But you know what? I will say this. Think about this for a minute. Let's stick a pin, as we say in yard, Jamaica yard. Stick a pin. Hold on, guys. Think about this. In 1981, when Bob Marley died, he was worth about $30 million, and he died without a will, and his label controlled his royalties and his masters. And then the government in Jamaica got involved, and they held up his estate. And the family of the Marleys even went to Michael Jackson and was like, "Can we get a loan?" And Michael Jackson was like, "I'll give you the money, but I want to buy the estate." And they said no, and they fought. And eventually, the mother sued, and she eventually got the money. But as of today, Bob Marley, let's see what Bob Marley's estate, let's see what year. He died in the 80s, right? He died in 81. So 1981, Bob Marley's estate was worth $30 million when he died. Let's see what it's worth today. You guys are going to follow with my thought process where I'm going. Hang on with me. It was Blackwell Music. It was a mess. They had to sue the government. 130 million. So his estate grew $100 million. So that's basically saying you're worth more dead than alive, like Michael Jackson, like Whitney Houston, like everybody else. So Big Pun, he, when he died, his estate or his music is worth whatever. Who knows what Big Pun's music is worth now? So they had some maybe handshake agreement. I don't know if they had a contract. She was like, "Give me $1 million." That might not over the life. I don't know if a million, that doesn't sound like a lot of money. $1 million doesn't sound like a lot of money. He could have just cut her a check for $1 million, and then she had to sue him, and then they settled. I mean, what did he settle? Like, what did he settle for? Like 100,000, or I don't know. I don't know. So I'm looking at this lawsuit here. Plaintiff Liza Rios, executor of Big Pun's estate, sued Joseph Cartana, Fat Joe, Jelly's Jams LLC, nature of action, jurisdiction, breach of contract, an accounting of termination of a partnership agreement. She had to have paperwork to file this. I'm gonna think. Failure to pay, account advances and royalties due. Did he get some? He got some trouble too. I think he wasn't paying the IRS. He owed like 3.3 million in back taxes with the IRS too. So I don't remember that year that was. Failure to pay for account of advances, royalties due to the state of Costa Rica. It says that the court jurisdiction and the amount of contract exceeds over 75,000. This court has personal jurisdiction. This was filed in Southern District of New York. Christopher Big Pun died at the height of his career on February 7th, 2000. Platinum Song Award-winning hip-hop artist, songwriter. I'm not a player, but I crush a lot. Still not a player. Capital punishment. He sold over 1.5 million. So he's a platinum selling. Big Pun was a platinum selling artist at the time of the height of his death. He had 60 million views on YouTube. Common factual allegations. They had a partnership agreement. I guess they had some paperwork. Maybe Big Pun and Fat Joe had the agreement, and then when Big Pun died, it went to his estate, and the wife was in charge of the estate. So she was getting payments for 5 years, and then they stopped. Now, I don't know if that's when he started having problems with the IRS with the taxes. I don't know if he filed bankruptcy. I don't really know what happened after that, but I'm just giving you some background, who he is, where he's from, how he became successful, what he did with Big Pun, and he settled. We don't know what he settled with, but this is the lawsuit right here we're looking at. All right. I don't think we have to go into much more details about that. I did not know though he had an opportunity to sign Eminem. He had he tried to go to Bad Boy to get signed. Said he was gonna sign him, but he wasn't gonna give him have his own label. So he went to Atlantic, he got his label, and Eminem sent him 6 demos and he turned them down 6 times. It says, pursuant to paragraph 5, the Atlantic Pun Agreement plaintiff is entitled to appropriation share 50% of Atlantic's net receipts from ringtones, digital exploitations, third-party use of pun masters. Plaintiff have never received royalties from Atlantic Pun Agreement. I guess he was guilty, that's why he settled. He was supposed to get 25% of the writer's compositions written, and 37.5%, undivided 25% for publishing. Boy, you need a lawyer to read all this to understand this. On or about September 18, 2001, more than a year after the commercial release of Yeah Baby, plaintiff received music publishing advance from defendant Jelly Jams in the amount of $116,000. Plaintiff received royalty statement periods from December 2003, January 2004, unrecouped amounts of $137,000 and $100,000 respectively. So he just stopped whatever publishing royalties. They just stopped after 5 years. After receipt of notice of termination date of June 27, 2014 from the plaintiff on July 18, 2014, Defendants Jelly Jam send music publishing royalty statement for the periods June 2009 to December 2019 to plaintiffs with unrecouped balance of 200, so a quarter of a million. And she sued for a mil. Maybe she got half a mil, 500,000. You know, I don't really know. You know, one year you get a hit, you spend that money, you might not have another hit for 10 years. What do you do in the middle? You know, that's why you can't live above your means, you know, because it doesn't always, it's a hard business. Defendant Fat Joe Terror Squad has continuously breached the fiduciary duties by not to pursue audits and sending notices of breach of Loud, Sony Music, Atlantic for plaintiffs. The representatives share 50% of Loud's or its success in net receipt from digital exploitations. Sing's third party uses of Big Pun's masters. Guess she requested a trial by jury and they settled. That was that. All right. That was 2014, guys. So we talked about Fat Joe, where he was born. He was in the Bronx for the project, started hustling, got into the music business, got his own label with Atlantic, didn't sign with Diddy or was gonna didn't that didn't work out, and then missed up with Eminem, and then he went on to make hit after hit after hit with the Terror Squad, and then Big Pun died. He was clinically depressed. His wife helped him get out of the depression, and then he got hit with a lawsuit from Big Pun's wife because after 5 years he stopped the publishing and they settled. I want to see what year he got in trouble with the taxes. Not Big Pun, Fat Joe. But I think all these guys, before they sign a contract, they should all get some financial literacy, especially when they sign young. When they sign like 18, 19, 20, you know. Fat Joe, $3 million taxes. Okay, so rapper Fat Joe was sentenced to 4 months in prison for failing to file income tax returns on over 3.3 taxable income, 3 million. Hold on 1 second. What year was this? 2013. Okay, so Big Pun dies in 2000. The wife is getting royalties up to 2014, and then it stops. Like I said, right here in 2013, he was sentenced to 4 months in prison because he didn't file taxes on over $3 million. So he was having tax issues. Maybe he didn't have a hit. He's having tax problems. So he stopped paying the wife, and she was like, we had an agreement. You owe me $1 million," and she sued. Okay. So then we have another lawsuit in 2022. It's 3 years ago. Joseph Cartagena, Fat Joe, Terror Squad Productions, Slate LLC, AZ Way LLC, blah, blah, blah. R4 Soul Valor LLC, Woo LLC, Sneaker Addiction Tour versus. So he's suing. He sued in Miami-Dade County in September 2020, BDO USA, CPA, Vanessa Ranger, Vanessa. I don't know. He sued someone in Miami. Let's see what this was about. Terror Squad Productions. Nature of the action. The clock is ticking. A decade ago, Fat Joe on behalf of. I'm not gonna keep saying his legal name. I'm gonna just say Fat Joe. That's how we know. Fat Joe on behalf of himself and other plaintiffs, various business entities said that he owns and began BDO and Canvas to provide tax preparation, bookkeeping, and bill payment services. Rodriguez directly. Rodriguez directly assisted chemists and worked for BDO senior client representatives and account executive. Recently, Fat Joe learned that there have been a slew of fraudulent activity with regard to those services. For example, numerous delinquent or unpaid mortgage and bill payments. The booking of revenues were never deposited in the plaintiff's account. Discrepancies in the amount of money plaintiffs have been paid for BDO for services rendered. Payments to unauthorized American Express accounts that are not Fat Joe, and payments to Fat Joe's American Express account from unrecognized bank accounts, both hallmarks and as a Ponzi scheme. Payments for a car Fat Joe no longer owns, identity theft, unauthorized credit cards, ATM locate from ATMs, obtain cash advances from cars and cars that pay their or child school tuition. To further investigate these incidents, Fat Joe requested BDO and come immediately provide them a copy. It sounds like he got caught up in a Ponzi scheme. Sounds like in Miami in 2022. I'm not sure. Florida is scamming capital. If there's any state with scamming, it's in Florida. Trust me. But rather than cooperate long-term client, so he sued someone a couple years ago for scamming credit cards and yada yada. Okay, I don't have to get into this in details, but I'm just giving you a little history backstory. This thing keeps timing out. I wonder what the result was. Let me see if I can go to the end of it. The Ponzi scheme. I don't know what the outcome was. So he's showing that it was some QuickBooks ledger that he submitted as evidence. Hold on, these ads keep popping up. There was $100,000 in unauthorized payments. A ledger from Sneaker Addict Touring relief payments of 1.8 million made over three American Express accounts. American Express payment $1 million. No, you could pay American Express with $1 million. He must have had a black card. Eight payment 300,000, 300,000. Wow. Okay, so he sued for that. Cash advance. There was some cash advance. So he got scammed. All right. So right now in 2005, Terrance T.A. Dixon versus Joseph Fat Joe Cartier, federal lawsuit in June 19, 2005 in the U.S. District of the Court of District of New York. Who's Terrance A. Dixon? I think that was his best friend or his tour manager. He worked with him for 18 years. I think this man made millions. Terrance A. Dixon. Okay. I guess this is what he looks like right here. He's an ex-hype man who filed a lawsuit against rapper Fat Joe. Terrance Dixon sues Fat Joe for $20 million, alleging severe abuse, including coercive labor and manipulation. Dixon claims over the years of abuse that Fat Joe, including intimidation in civilians while seeking significant damages. Terrance T.A. Dixon, a name not widely known outside of the music circles, has until recently has come into the spotlight after filing a bombshell lawsuit against Bronx rapper Fat Joe. Who is Terrance Dixon? Dixon was Fat Joe's hype man for 16 years, amped up crowds, working closely on tours, and sharing in the energy of live performances. He's also known in the music world as Population One. He's better known among electronic music fans for his minimal techno beats. Based in Detroit, Dixon has carved a niche for himself in the underground techno scene and releases on iconic labels like Metroplex. On Thursday, in a 157-page lawsuit. Ooh, that's pretty long. The Tyler Perry one was 46 pages. 157. What you gotta say? And you know that was Tyrone Blackburn. That's a Tyrone Blackburn special. Tyrone. Oh my God. We're gonna get into Tyrone. Hold on. Let me stick. We're gonna get into Tyrone in a minute. I'm gonna talk about you, Tyrone. All right, guys. Let's get through this. Let's go. On Thursday, an 157-page lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York. Dixon accused Fat Joseph Antonio Cartagena, Joe, of, of disturbing abuses. Among the most serious claims are coercive labor, exploitation, financial fraud, manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. 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 We're going to talk about that word, coercion. Coercion. We're going to talk about that one. Okay. Among the most serious coercion. Dixon is seeking up to $20 million in damages. The lawsuit details years of alleged abuse, including, oh gosh, including coercion, under duress, civilians-based humiliation, and forced participation in acts Dixon says he never consented to. The S-based abuse were not private, incidental, or isolated, the complaint alleges. It also claims that Fat Joe, hold on, let me make this a little better. That Fat Joe used influence to silence and control those around him. Even more shocking are Dixon's allegations that he witnessed Fat Joe engaging in acts with underage. The lawsuit names 3 alleged little ones and include graphic description. The allegations, Fat Joe has denied the allegations brought by Dixon. The allegations against Mr. Cartine by Fat Joe are complete fabrication, lies intended to damage his reputation and force a settlement through public pressure, said his lawyer. Joe Tacopina. Okay, yeah, he's with Joe Tacopina. Okay, I don't know why. That's the other one. Tyler Perry was with Tyrone Blackburn. Joe Tacopina's good. He don't play. He just got off. Who was he? He was with ASAP Rocky, right? Mr. Cartagena will not be intimidated. Dixon's lawyer. Oh, so it is Tyrone Blackburn. Oh my God, Tyrone Blackburn, Metro versus Joe Tacopina. Joe Tacopina is going to chew him up. He's a New Yorker too. He's from New York. Tyrone Blackburn, who has a history of following lawsuits against celebrities, told the Independent Fat Joe is Sean's Combe menace. And Blackburn added he learned nothing from his 2013 federal conviction. That I guess that's the 4 months he had to do for tax evasions, right? We didn't just sue disgruntled former employee trying to receive a false claim from 15 years ago. We sued the lawyer behind it all, said Tapachino, adding that Blackburn is under scrutiny for unethical legal contact. Let me stop for a minute. This damn Tyrone Blackburn. Let me pull him up first. I don't know. This guy's been coming up a lot. Let me share my screen. I'm going to give you my opinion real quick. Here's Tyrone Blackburn. Young guy. but he's always getting in trouble with the courts. He's always up to his shenanigans, and he keeps getting in trouble. One, he adds a lot of photos in his lawsuits, which is new. Most people don't really, when they do civil lawsuits, that they're going to add pictures. He adds pictures. Then he puts the big red trigger warning, trigger warning, which is something to get your attention. But it's very salacious. He's always going after celebrities. In the Diddy trial on the federal court, Banglolia, excuse me, she testified on the federal oath for perjury that he lied, that he was a liar, that he wrote some salacious stuff in her lawsuit, and she fired him. She was like, "No, I'm not dealing with you because you're a lawyer." So he's someone shady. Takapina is a straight shooter. He's from New York. I don't know. I think he's Italian or something. He don't play. But this guy he's been in trouble with the court a few times. So I'm just, I'm trying to be not biased. So let's go back here. So that's what Takapino is saying, adding that Blackburn is under scrutiny for unethical legal conduct. So I don't know if he's going to be disbarred or he was warned, or I don't know what shenanigans that he was lying. I think there's a code of ethics. You just can't throw whatever to the wall and see what it sticks, because he did the Little Rod lawsuit against Diddy that actually gave the feds the permission with the keys to raid his house. But half of the allegations that he came with in that lawsuit, the judge threw him out. Half of them they threw out. Some of those charges, they was like, no, 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 no. So I don't know. That guy is walking a tightrope. This is the right way to fight Joe through the system. You can't fight him with no other way. Joe thinks he's a god. Joe thinks he's untouchable. So do these rappers have godlike, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Egos? Hove, Jehovah, Hove. Didn't Jay-Z call himself Hove, the book of God? They have these godlike, they're big egos and godlike, and they think they're untouchable. They definitely think they're above the law. Let me see. Let's keep going. So that's the end of that. Um, Tyrone is shady. Shady, shady, shady. So Fat Joe never won a Grammy. Grew up in the projects of the South Bronx, East 163rd Street and Trinity Avenue. Father kicked him out when he started selling rugs. This is forest houses. The South Bronx was rough. In the 70s, he said rapper's name was Joey Crack. Okay, so here's a breakdown of the Terrance T.A. Dixon versus Joseph Fat Joe federal lawsuit. So it was filed June 19, 2025 in the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York. Man, the Southern District of New York is busy. They had Epstein, they had Kelly, they got Diddy, they had Fat Joe in here. At least they ain't dealing with Tyler Perry. Okay, what's the coercive labor explanation financial fraud over the course of 16 years from 2005 to 2020? This guy's been rocking with him for a long time. Dixon claims that he was not properly compensated, denied songwriting credits on tracks like Congratulations and Ice Cream, and was cut off from royalties. So you have to get stuff in writing. That's the one thing I'm going to say is, if Diddy sound guilty, you know, his partner brought a RICO charge against his mother, Janice Combs, right? Kurt Burrows. Because he's like, we have paperwork. When you start a company or LLC or a corporation, you get stock options. He had 25% of the stocks in writing. Diddy was like, "Oh, I need to borrow it, give it back, and I'll give it back to you." And him trusting him and being naive, he was like, "Okay, I'll lend it to you." Diddy was like, "I give it right back, man. I give it right back." But he rolled up on him, with a baseball bat. I'm not gonna get my bag because community guidelines. And then next, my video will be flagged because I'm not acting appropriately. But he went in there with a bat, act like this is a bat, and even though he had paperwork, Kurt Burrow had the paperwork, gave it to Diddy. He took it, yeah, man, I'll give it back, and never gave it back, and put it in his mother's name. So now Janice Combs has her own RICO. That's why I'm like, you gotta have the paperwork. This guy had the paperwork and still got robbed, but luckily he went in and became homeless. This is so tragic, and that was his son Justin's godfather. Anyway, greed. That's what Diddy's sitting in jail right now. He's too damn selfish and greedy. But what I'm saying is that this guy, this friend, he's like, "Oh, I've been riding with you since 2005 to 2020, 15 years or whatever, 20 years. And you owe me royalties and you owe me writing. And where's the paperwork? Do you not have paperwork? Didn't Jay-Z, whoever did the icon for Rockefeller Records, the guy, Jay-Z was like, I'm going to just give you a check. I'll give you some cash. Just draw me He was like, no, I want royalties. Yeah, man. Never gave him the royalties. He sued him and he won. I mean, he sued him like 10, 20 years later. But he got a check. I mean, pay your people. But I want to know if this guy who's coming after Fat Joe for financial fraud, did you have your paperwork or was this just a handshake agreement? Because I know a lot of people in hip hop, rappers, I'm not going to name any names, that they thought they were old things, trusting them, handshake agreement, and they got jerked and went to court and lost. They were wrong. They were right, but because they didn't have the documentation, they lost. Exploitation and coercion and trafficking. Ooh, those are some heavy, heavy words. Dixon alleges he was forced into 4,000 SX under duress, of course, tours and sometimes while aboard with threats of being abandoned or harmed. What? I don't know, guys. I don't know. S with young people that he witnessed, that he gave them cash, clothing, paying phone bills, and even financing plastic surgery. That's what he was alleging, that he went and bought some of the girls' BBL. BBL, more BBL. I'm a mess, right? But here's the problem I have with this, Mr. Dixon. Listen, I have no opinion. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is not true. I'm not giving my opinion. Allegedly, I'm just reading what was reported according to People magazine and the Southern District of New York. My problem is, if you witness a crime and you don't report the crime, you're guilty. You can't come back 10 years, 15 years, 30. Oh, I saw him commit 4,000 crimes. And he paid for that, and he did this and that. And it's probably true, but you cannot be the neighbor or on tour or a friend, and you know things, and you turn in the cheek, because that means you're complicit, right? So that's the whole thing with this suit. Not only I think it's shady because one is Tyrone. Joe Chacapina is going to tear him up. Number one, Joey Crack going to pay some money though. He's not cheap. But Tyrone is shady. He's salacious. He lied. He's under investigation. He might get deported. And I'm not saying with this guy that Dixon is a legend is not true. I'm not saying that. But if you're talking about what criminal activities that you've seen him with little people, and now 20 years later you were supposed to do something that you should be going to the clean together. You see what I'm saying? You guys follow me? You follow me? RICO style criminal enterprise allegation. The complaint cites intimidation, psychological manipulation, organized exploitation involving associates like Pistol P, Rich Player, and Rock Nation. Ooh, Rock Nation was dropped. This is the second. No, not the second. Listen, you guys can go back to my live. I did a whole 2 hours on Rock Nation's lawsuit, the RICO lawsuit that they have with the CEO of Rock Nation, her daughter, everything. He's going to do that. Plus, he's getting sued with Cash App. He's getting sued with his school in Brooklyn, Rock Nation Music Studio. He's getting sued for whatever with the Tony Bugsby, that one that got threw out on a technicality. He's been trying to open up a casino in Times Square. I heard allegedly he might have been bribing politicians. I did a whole video on Jay-Z, so you can go back in there. But they dropped Rock Nation in here. RICO style criminal enterprise allegations. The complaint cites intimidation, psychological manipulation, and organized exploitation involving associates like Pistol Pete, Rich Player, and Rock Nation. Dixon is seeking $20 million in damages or unpaid wages plus punitive damages. Fat Joe, attorney Joe Tacopino, calls and claims complete fabrications and retaliatory extortion attempt, pointing to a prior defamation lawsuit Fat Joe filed in August against Dixon and his lawyer for slander and harassment. I didn't see that one. That was in April. So they're going back and forth, tit for tat. It's going to cost a lot of money. Back. You did this. No, you did that. I witnessed this. I witnessed that. I witnessed all your crimes, but I didn't say anything for 20 years. But now I'm going to say it. But now you got to pay me. I want $20 million. No, it's extortion. Listen, guys, when there's smoke, there's fire. And he's been with this guy from 20 years. Road manager, security, best friend, godfather. You know, it's like Damon Dash and Jay-Z. You know, they were close and then they became, frenemies. Claims of extortion and abuse of legal process. Tacopino says law enforcement is aware of Dixon's alleged extortion and accuses Dixon's lawyer of serial filing sensationalized lawsuits for publicity. Dixon must respond to Fat Joe's original defamation lawsuit on June 23rd. Court hearing August 1st. What do you guys think? Here's the issues. Underpayment and royalties. Songwriter performing contribution, credit withheld. Denies calls it financial extortion. Chorus S acts 4,000 under duress. Ha! Hey, let's do the math. Let's make it make sense. Think about this. He was with him since 2005, right? So it's 2025. That's 20 years. He said he had to perform 4,000 acts. He already knows where I'm going. That's 160 acts per year. Would be 13 acts per month. 3. So he had to perform in 3 acts per week under duress. Well, if you're a rapper, you're in hip hop, three a week, 2 shows a night, 2 shows a week, one and a half per night. It's doable allegedly. It's not me. It's doable allegedly. What I'm saying. Okay, let's get back to it. All right. Denies claims of fabrication. Oh, underage, paid for expenses, defamation, legal strategy, civil suit damages prior to. Did he make a police report? Did he report it? If you see a crime and you don't act out of the crime, then in my opinion, you're guilty. That's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not. I don't know. That's funny. He said he was out here paying for BBLs. BBL, BBL. Yo, they're crazy out here. BBL. He was out here paying for the BBLs, guys, and he won $20 million. Oh my God, BBL, BBL, BBL. Let me stop being a troll, guys. I'm trolling. Let's get to this. All right, let's get to this. This escalated legal battles pits major allegations of exploitation and S abuse, including S with little ones, against accusation of malicious extortion, defamation, with both sides now actively litigation, initial motions, upcoming hearings, and cases likely lead to prolonged court showdown. Let me know if you like. All right. Mm-hmm. So this is I don't know. This is a countersuit. They're just going back and forth. They're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And attorneys are going to drain all that money. But I don't think he's going to win with Joe Tapachino because he just got off, ASAP Rocky, and he's from New York. I think he's Italian from New York, and he don't play. You could catch him nightly on what is he on? Nancy Gray. He comes on there nightly. What was Fat Joe's complaint that he did in April? Did you guys remember hearing that? I don't remember. I do not remember. Let's see. This is the public humiliation ritual. What was the other thing that you were hearing that in the lawsuit, the 157-page lawsuit, they found out that um, Fat Joe put a hit out on 50? I don't deny it. Right, because he's mad because he had six times the sign Eminem, and he didn't sign Eminem, and he dropped the ball, and that guy's worth 250 million. So he went and put a hit out on 50 because of that. Oh Lord, let's go. Here we go, guys. This is a busy day. It's gonna be a heavy upload. I'm gonna jump off in a minute, but I'm gonna be back. I gotta come back. Oops, oops. There it is. Okay, here we go. Fat Joe tried to kill 50 Cent in a lawsuit alleges plan abandoned over Navy SEAL type security. Lord. I think everybody was trying to put a hit on 50 really, you ask me. Who shot him up the first time the 9 times? I remember talking about it. Because he had an artist. I'm having a brain fog. 50 had an artist that was trying to get released. Did he have something to do with Jam Master Jay? Was 50 trying to get Jam Master Jay to sign him or release with him or something? I'm gonna have to come back with that one. I remember hearing, guys, I'm from New York, and I was in hip hop. And you guys could probably look this up, but I remember hearing that when rest in peace Jam Master Jay. I'm gonna try not to cry. Guys, don't have me crying on here. It was so sad, but it was in the studio room, and everyone was there, but no one would testify. Everyone was like, I didn't see anything. I don't know. It was a full room, like on the Vegas Strip with Tupac. You got all these people on the Vegas Strip, and nobody saw anything. But I remember hearing like, did Jay have an artist that 50 was trying to get, or Jay wasn't on the road anymore with would run DMC, and they wasn't giving him any money. So he had to start to sell rugs to survive. If that was in the documentary, like a lot of documented family, he was embarrassed that he started hustling because he's JMSJ and he should have had money. He didn't have money, and he went back. Was it a wrong deal that went back? Was it 50? Was he involved? Don't have me start stating rumors. I'm just trying to remember. Let me do a little research and make a couple calls. I'll come back to you, but I'm not sure. Fat Joe's former hype man, Terrance Dixon, is suing rapper 20 million, and he, in the legal complaint, alleges that he attempted to hire someone to murder 50 Cent during the height of their beef. What was they beefing about? 50 was beefing with everybody. Fat Joe has denied the allegation in the lawsuit. A statement shared by his lawyer and filed a defamation lawsuit with Dixon. In the lawsuit, which Complex has revealed, Dixon accused. This lawsuit is 157 pages. Dixon accused Fat Joe of engaging in a pattern of behavior that included multiple implied threats against his life. These acts were not isolated or impulsive; they were strategic. And hold on, my TikTok's about to expire. Please try again. Hold on 1 second, guys. Do my TikTok. Oh no. In the lawsuit, which Complex has reviewed, Dixon accused Fat Joe of engaging in a pattern of behavior, which included multiple implied threats against his life. These acts were not isolated or impulsive; they were strategic and methodological, issued to assert dominance and protect his status in the entertainment industry. Reads the lawsuit. That pattern also includes an alleged murder for hire plot targeting Curtis Jackson. As alleged in the lawsuit, which accuses the Bronx-born rapper of coercive labor, exploitation, financial fraud, manipulation, violent intimidation, and psychological coercion. The murder for hire plot occurred in either 2006 and 2007. Two rappers had been in the beef since at least 2002 because Joe's association with Ja Rule. Yeah, 50 hated Ja Rule. He hated Ja. 50 and Ja Rule had big beef. That I remember. 50 Ja Rule couldn't stand him. I don't remember over why, but with whom 50 Cent is still beefing with. He's still beefing with him. Although the rappers are friendly these days, apparently their animosity was severe enough that Joe allegedly sought to end the rival's life, at least according to the lawsuit verified claim. 50 is just a big fat bully. Fat Joe engaged in a calculated and premeditated conspiracy to murder the rapper Curtis Jackson. Curtis Jackson, knowingly professional as 50 Cent, reads the lawsuit around the winter of 2006 2007. Fat Joe is residing in Miami and received a call reporting 50 Cent's presence in New York venue. Defendant Fat Joe ordered a hit, but 50 Cent was surrounded by naval SEAL type security smart. 50 used to always walk around with bulletproof vests, just like Tupac. Ever wonder why in Vegas night they told him you don't need to put on your vest? Vest up, Pop. No, I don't. They told him you don't need it. You good. And the would-be assassins were afraid to make an attempt. Wow, he goes with Navy SEALs. The lawsuit accuses Fat Joe of openly admitting that he placed a bag on 50 Cent's head and that he expressed frustration that he had not yet succeeded in executing the plot. He also allegedly told his associates that he had been trying to get this ninja for a minute, something he allegedly admitted at his home in Miami. The defendant was visibly distraught and shaking when discussing the plot's failure, suggesting not only the intent and captive planning, but also direct coordination with individuals acting on his behalf. And lawsuit continues. The plot involved him track 50 Cent's movements via his performance schedule and attempting to ambush him at multiple public scenes. The attempt assassination is consistent with the enterprise's pattern of retaliatory violence against perceived disloyal, disrespectful competition. In the rest of the 20 million lawsuit, Fat Joe was accused of forcing his former hype man into humiliation situations that included recorded sex acts. What's with the recording everything? Don't tell me he's a little ditty. I don't know. Threats of abandonment in foreign countries and refuses compliance. That's like Diddy. What he had, the girl flew on the plane, Mia took a passport, threw in the pool, left. He also said he witnessed Fat Joe have relationships with the little one, the buying them BBLs. Be a troll again. It's not funny, but BBL, BBL. Can I get a BBL? This is not funny, guys. This is a public humiliation of our black men. This is a humiliation ritual. And the rest of the 20 minutes, okay, just getting the BBLs. The lawsuit filed by Tyrone Blackburn and Terrance Dixon is a blatant act of retaliation. Fat Joe lawyers Joe Tacopino recently represented ASAP Rocky in a statement shared with the Independent. The allegations against Fat Joe are complete fabrication, lies intended to damage the reputation, force the settlement through public pressure through Mr. Fat Joe will not be intimidated. He is from the Bronx, Joey Crack. He's from Forest Housing in the South Bronx. He's not not having it buying BBLs. We have taken legal action to expose this fraudulent campaign. So that's that, guys. What do you think? Let's make it make sense. What do you think? What are the facts? What do we know? What do we not know? I know. Listen. Spray. Listen. This is, you can let this stress relieve it. Anyway, I know this. He had didn't Diddy slap Drake, right? Diddy was in the club, saw Drake, slapped him in his face, right? Like a woman. He just slapped him. Because why? Because he had that hit. Started from the bottom down here to the top, right? All the way up, whatever, bottom to the top, right? That was Diddy's beat. Diddy can't hear music. 50 Cent was like, he can't hear me. He gave the beat. Drake put the lyrics on it, and it became a hit, and he got mad. So Fat Joe had 6 times to sign Eminem. Diddy was going to rob him. He said, I don't want to work with you. Go to Atlantic. He went to Atlantic. He got his own label, and Eminem was sending him his demo. Eminem was living in a chill home with his mother. He was probably sending everyone his demo. Everybody. And 50 Cent took him to Dr. Dre. So being that he already got Ja Rule, working with Ja Rule, and 50 got sense beef with Ja Rule. I forgot why. It was something going on in the projects in Queens. Does it got to do with Lil Nas? I don't remember. You guys let me know in the comments. You know better than me. So he didn't sign Eminem. 50 signed Eminem. Eminem was worth $250 million. I hate him too. I don't know if that warrants to unalive him and put a hit. But 50 was smart to go out there with them Navy sleeves, them Navy SEALs. Because he's been threatening everybody from robbing steel. I don't know what it is. Listen, I'm not telling none of you guys nothing that you don't already know. I'm just reading the news and having, talk. If you guys looking for any type of cooking recipes or anything, feel free to go in my playlist. I have I have over 200 recipes. And, on that note, BBL. Can I get a BBL, someone? BBL. BBL. Oh, it's not funny, but it's funny. I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back with another one. I'm out of here, guys.